No, just ain't you trying to put us on, but we
Hey guys, it's
to
Lyndon,
push
No Bull
down.
Tradie Coach, just doing another round of No Bull Tradie TV. But today's little topic is actually about how do you find your right staff. Now, I've been asked this question a fair few times by a fair few people because you know what it's like in the landscaping world, and I'm sure in the construction world and everyone else as well. Good labourers and good workers are hard to find. Like, you can find good tradies more often than you can find good labourers. Now, what's the key to finding a good labourer? Not taking shit from the bad ones. I mean, that's your key. As soon as you start with someone, you can tell really closely and really quickly off the bat whether you like them or not. And in my opinion, if you like them, if you don't like them, you need to get rid of them straight away. I know that sounds harsh and I know that sounds mean, but as I put it, like, if they're in there and they're going to hurt your business, they're not going to make you money, well, what are they really there for? I mean, if you think you can build on them, like you can build on people's attitudes, that's fine, go for it. But if you notice that they just don't want to put in, they just don't seem to care, then don't keep them on, because all you're going to do is frustrate yourself and give yourself a lot more dramas. Now, how to make them assimilate into your, I think assimilate's the word, assimilate into your kind of culture, is to make sure you have those habits that I've talked about before. So make sure they know that at the end of the day, if you've used the brick saw or if you've used tools that get dirty, you clean the goddamn tools. And you've got to make sure you put that into them and make sure that they understand that that's what they've got to do. There's nothing worse than someone not cleaning up after themselves just because they're lazy at the end of the day. Another tip that I always like to give preference. I know this sounds a bit harsh and I don't really care, but I give preference to guys who have families because they've got a reason to get up and go to work every day. A lot of the times the guys with families aren't the ones who are going to call in Monday morning because they've had a bender all weekend. Now, that's not for every case, obviously, and I have hired guys that don't have families. I'm just saying that often that's the way I've found it. And the other thing you've got to do is you've got to give them a reason to want to come to work. You've got to tell them what you're building. If you're building a massive company, if you're building a company that's going to do this or where you're diversified, I never fear telling everyone who comes on my goals. Like, I don't tell them in the first 5 seconds, but when we're working together or when they see me a lot, I do end up saying, no, mate, we're going to be huge. Like, we're going to be a big, big company, and you're welcome to come along for the ride if you want. Or you're welcome to learn for a few years and then go off and do your own thing. I have no dramas about that. I don't think every employee I get now I'm going to keep. But I do want every employee that comes into my business to learn and to really, really learn. Not just, that's a neat trick. Learn about business, learn about life, learn about everything. Because if you just go to work in your, like, let's say you're an electrician, you just go to work and you pull cables every day and no one has a good chat, no one really talks about anything, or you just talk about shit. Well, I don't think people stay for that. I think if you start talking about building goals and building your businesses and what your family's going to be like and what your idea of a perfect world and things like that are, that's when you're going to build a bigger business, in my opinion. And that's when you're going to get better employees because they look forward to coming to work. It's funny, some of the people I worked with before when I was a project manager, I think there's a lot of them, nearly 5, that have gone out on business by themselves now because of some of the talks we had about, no, you've got to want for something more, you've got to go for something more, you've got to go for your business, and if it doesn't work out, then you shut it down and you go back to the old way and you make money that way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I tell everyone not to give up, but I also understand that not everyone's going to make it. The research says only 50% people make it after 3 years or something like that, but I'm willing to have a crack at being those 50%, and then after 15 years I think only 5% of businesses are still running. I'm having a crack to be one of those 5%, so I hope you guys are too. But if you don't have the right people with you, and if you don't breed that culture of you can ask questions, we can do this together, I will teach you, I will show you how to do things, I will make you a better person, you won't find quality candidates. And if your mind is always at all labour is a shit, you're gonna breed those shit ones. You're gonna bring them all in. If your mind is that any labourer can be worked with and made better, well, that's who you're gonna bring towards you, and that's who you're gonna hire. So this is just a tip from the No Bull Tradie Coach today on No Bull Tradie TV. As you can see, I'm in my high vis today. I'm doing a pretty big quote, more of a commercial quote for down in Sydney. So exciting times for all this company, but makes me busy as shit. So I will chat to you all again tomorrow. Cheers and have a good one. Share, like, comment, blah, 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 blah. You know what it's like. See yous.
No, just say you trying to put us on, but we better to push through.